Kamela here from Creative Moms Decant. So today I just got back from Hobby Lobby and I'm super excited to show you what I'm going to do with some super fun spring supplies. So the first thing we need to do is separate these two wreaths. I bought 2 packs of 2, so I'll be able to make 2 wreaths. And having a little bit of, okay, there we go. So you just find the ends and you just pull out these ends and they'll separate. And I bought a smaller one to make a head and then a little bit larger one to make the body of our bunny. And I'm going to wrap these in this wire ribbon I found. So I grabbed yellow and lilac wired ribbon to wrap around our Easter wreath. This was a super simple project and it turned out just really, really cute. And of course, if I have ribbon out, I have a cat around. Anything that wiggles. I did try to wrap this evenly all the way around, and when I got to my end, I knew that I would just make that where things attached. And I wanted both colors. You could have stopped with one. I absolutely love color and flash, so I did too. So same thing, just wrapped this one around. If you keep your ribbon in a roll, it's much easier to wrap around. And then you will cut it off and it stores really nice. You can wrap it around itself and keep it. And I mean, Easter egg ribbon, that's going to work for a lot of years. And I'm going to do the same thing to the smaller one. So I'm going to do both the yellow and the purple all the way around the smaller one. This was super simple, nothing to it. All right, so we're going to use some wire to get the head and the body wreaths together. And you can do this 2 different ways, and it depends on where you're going to go with your design. I am just going to put them together with one piece of wire just like this. It's going to show. I'm going to wrap it around. It's going to be kind of sloppy. That's right where my bow is going to go, so I'm not going to worry about it. You could feed them through the vine and wire it nicely so you can't see it. And either way is okay for a wreath that you know where you're hanging. If you're going to make this to sell, I would wire it in between, and that way when the bow changes up, they don't see anything, things like that. So we're just going to wire this together. A trick when using wire is to use 2 pliers. Don't trust your hands. If you use pliers and wire, you'll get it much tighter. So every time I'm getting a new knot here, I am grabbing my needle nose and getting it even tighter. And then I'm going to just tuck those ends back there for now. I may end up using them, but just get them out of my way. These are huge, so I just knocked my camera. Sorry about that. And I keep doing it. I'm just going to cut these off the vines. And I want to just go as long as I can for these pieces. And so as long as I can get them is where I'm at. Oh, that one was stubborn. Okay. And then I'm going to line them up, and we're going to do these like 3 and 3. I think I have 7. So I'm going to pick out my pieces here. And that one's really long, but I want to get them all to be the same length. So I'm going to kind of check my lengths and make sure everything's close to the same, and then line these up. And I'm going to wire the ends together. They're going to tuck inside our wreath, so I just want to make sure that I get my ends lined up. And I didn't quite there, but I'll come back and get those. And then once you have one side lined up, we're going to line up the other side as well. And then just wire it together. And I need to get the other side of this done as well. So I'm just lining up the ends, and I'm going to get the other one done. All right, so now we need to attach these to the top of our bunny, and you do kind of want to decide which way you're going to do front and which way you're going to do back. and you don't want these to show through. So we're going to run that wire like I talked about earlier by running it halfway through the wreath. And that's where wire works really well because it pokes through. And then you just want to fasten these down. I did kind of an X motion. So I did each side, ear to ear, each side of the ear, and then the opposite side. And that's how I got those to stay down. And we may have to place these and get this tight. You got to get them tight, and you may have to kind of wire them together to get them to place exactly where you want them. But you do want to peek at the front, and you'll kind of work with that and just feed that wire through so that it stays. But again, this is the back of this wreath, so you just want to run it halfway through. Oh my gosh, it's going to look super cute. These were a good pick. Fun find were these little cottonwood ears. I thought originally I would squish the ears and use a wreath and squish it, but then I found this vine and I thought it would be perfect, and it is. It's going to be perfect. So that's going to be super fun. So kind of place that ear, and now we want to get this on. And same thing, just a good X motion and get this on the wreath without seeing it through the front. Sometimes this ribbon is a devil to get poked through. All right, and again, I'm going to leave my tails. I always leave my wire tails until I'm completely done. I've hung it up and checked, and then I tighten everything down. So this is super simple. I'm just going to separate these to be long, delicate stems of flowers. And I'm just going to make a simple little bouquet. So I chose this yellow and pink, which I thought would go good for spring. And my mom always says work in odd numbers. So I'm going to stop at 3 yellow flowers and grab a couple sprigs of the pink to add to it. And then you have a little bouquet. So we're just going to cut this off and wire it together. And it's really simple here. We're going to feed it through the wreath. Let me get this tight here, see? So it's going to come from the back of the wreath onto the front. And all we're going to do is wire our little bouquet to the back of the wreath through a couple of the twigs in the back. So super simple. And I kind of bent the stem so that it flowed with the wreath. And that worked out really well. And just a couple of the branches, and kept almost like sewing these down with my wire. A needle might have made it easier to stick through. Some of these are being stubborn here at the bottom. But remember, you don't want it to be seen from the front. So we definitely want to keep it going down and curving with the wreath. And I keep flipping it up so I check to make sure that my wire work is not showing to the front. So we're almost done here. And the last thing we have to do is to add our bow. So let's do that. Oh, this is... All right. So I grabbed a bunch of the ribbon off the roll, and then I made a small little loop and then a bigger loop. So the small one will be my center. And we're going to continue to make loops that are the same size. I kind of use my fingers to measure and just back and forth. And I like to buy ribbon that's wired. This is wired ribbon, and also is exactly the same on the front and the back, because I'm not very good at spinning ribbon and making that work. So this is how I make them work. And again, I'm not the greatest. So I just checked size there and decided where to stop. And I'm going to use my craft ribbon to tie this off. And again, grab those pliers, because you've got to get it tight. And it will stay much better if it's tight. And so I only have one tail, but don't worry about that. We'll get there. Let me get this. And again, I'm leaving those wires on there. So let's see how long we want our tail. So fluff up that bow and kind of do a check. The plaid on this makes it easy. I'm just going to cut it diagonally. Super simple. And then I'm going to attach another one that's the same size. and just get everything tight. And I'm going to use the same ribbon to attach this to our adorable spring wreath. It was super simple, couple simple things that you could find at any craft store this time of year. Just get that tight and fluff it up. All right, let's see this hung up. I'm excited. Super cute. A simple wire hanger, and this is all done. So what I would do is, and I didn't show you, but I would hook a wire hanger from the back of the ears. I'm just going to put it up here on my clip because I want to see it. Well, that didn't work. It will. Okay. Straighten out my bow. You know, always fluffing bows is always important. Make sure you fluff them bows. Whether you make something or you buy it, always fluff your bows. I think it is so cute. Thank you for joining me today while we made this super cute Hobby Lobby bunny wreath. Have a joyful day. Bye.